the same way. We're all human beings. We all have hearts and souls. And those hearts and souls are powerful, whether you know that now or not. You knew it when you were younger. You got to believe again, right? And then it happens. Inoculate your people. Perseverance through adversity. I promise you, the adversity won't always be there. Okay? Not at the level that it is at certain points where it's going to break you. You can overcome that. Success always follows challenge. Sometimes the challenge can be so overwhelming, you don't see the silver lining. Like it's enough to take you out. But I promise, if you hang on, you gain more strength and you will overcome. Growth can be painful, so you have to welcome it. It's like anything else. You see a bodybuilder, they go through pain to get there. They have to tear the muscle down for it to build back up. The same thing happens here with your muscle in our business. So the new skin muscle requires the same thing. Truth is, you're responsible for your own success or failure. It's not your upline or your downline. It's absolutely you. Absolutely you. I see people all the time who say, you know what, I'd be successful, but my upline doesn't help me. They don't even talk to me. And I'm thinking, why? Is there a reason why they don't want to talk to you? Maybe you need to be a person that they want to talk to. Maybe your downline needs to look and see a person there that they want to involve in the business because it benefits their business instead of scares people away. You guys follow this? Your business will be a reflection of you whether you like it or not. At the end of the day, it will reflect you. So if you don't like the reflection you see, you better change it. Because no one else will, and no one's going to cut you slack, and nobody's going to go in there and wipe your nose. Okay? The business doesn't care about you. Do you guys understand that? The business is an inanimate object. It has no feeling. It just knows it's going to go to 10 billion and beyond. The infrastructure is built. I mean, you look at the campus here and the campus in China. This is the campus of a 10 to 20 billion dollar operation. And we're at 3 right now, right? And so what's taking place here? It doesn't care about us at all. It just knows it's going to be fulfilled and go where it goes. So, you know, if you want to cry or have your nose wiped, call your mama. All right? Because you're not going to get that here. Now, you might get a little bit of emotional support from your upline. You get too much, it'll weaken you, I promise. Claire McDermott taught me something early on in the game. She's the only person News can ever sponsor. She's Derek Scramler. And she said, Jeff, remember this. You always need to support strength to strength. Never support strength to weakness. Because it breeds the same. Strength to strength breeds more strength. Strength to weakness breeds more weakness. You have to let people sail and take ownership. Best advice I ever got. Very smart woman. Okay? Very smart. Any chance you get an opportunity to hear words of wisdom out of her mouth, you better shut up and listen. Because there's more there than meets the eye as you start to ponder. Important stuff. All excuses are created equal. I don't care what your excuse is. If you allow it to stop you or even put you in a lukewarm situation, you lose. All right? Everyone has troubles. Everyone has challenges. Do you guys believe that? Yes. You better believe it because it's true. Nobody got where they are in this business because it was easy for them. They were just willing to move forward because their why was big enough and go through the pain threshold that was required for them to get the success they want. And sometimes that means you have to dial up that pain if you want a lot out of this. Where much is given, much is expected. Okay? And we have a responsibility to ourselves and others. Build an oak tree. What does this mean? It simply means this. I get questions all the time. What do I do? Do I lead with the product? Do I lead with the business? And my answer is yes. Okay? What does that mean? It just means simply this. There's only 2 ways you can do this, guys. I know that everyone's looking for the magic pill, or I need this material, or hey, if I don't have that or this, I'm not going to have the business work. That's a bunch of crap. Okay? There's 2 ways you can do this. You can either lead by talking about the product or lead by talking about the business. A smart person will do a combination of both. Okay? And you'll know when it's required. People ask me, what do you do? Well, I look at it this way. There's so much time in the world. Right now, the time I've been up here talking to you, we'll never get that back. You and I are older by, about 30 minutes. And it'll never come back. It's gone. Okay? All we have, and we don't know what the time frame we have left on this earth is. Do you know what your time frame is? I don't know mine. So we can't get it back. So you can't waste time. So I say, if I'm going to invest X amount of time here, I'm going to invest in talking about the business. Because if I can get them with the business, they're going to buy 3 kits and get 1 free. That'll create X amount of volume. That'll pay me for my time, but more importantly, it'll set in motion a duplication process that will replicate and create more of the same. Now, if they don't want to do the business, I can always drop back into product sale. Okay, because I'm not going to do anything without having product move. If they get involved, big product moves. If they don't get involved, littler product moves, but product moves. Does that make sense? Yeah. So don't ask me who sells this. It's about product movement, right? And what happens is if I lead with the product first, what happens with that is I can move product because it takes just as much time to share the product as it does the opportunity. And I might make a sale. Now here's the danger in that if you're looking to build an army. Sometimes you'll approach an entrepreneur or a business person with the product first, and they can never make the connection between that product sale and the big picture where they're commanding an army where they have leverage. I've seen it happen time and time again. And you think they're intelligent, they've made money in the business they're at, and they don't make the connection. They keep saying, well, I can't be an Avon lady. I can't. It's like, shut up. Why do you say to be an Avon? Oh yeah, you show me this product. They never get it. Where if you show them managing an army that produces X amount of volume, equates to X amount in their check, they're all over. And then the product just becomes an easy sale. Does that make sense? Yes. But do what you will. Typically the product will move a little bit slower, and that's okay. As long as you're in the game and you know what you're doing and your commitment is there, right? At the end of the day, here's how the thing looks. If you look at a tree, an oak tree, the root system represents your leadership. Maybe that's your blue diamond, your team elite. And it's interesting because every blue diamond in our business makes all their money off of 1, 2, or 3 people. They have to have their 12 to 15 to get paid, right, on the depth. They have all their volume comes from 1, 2, or 3 people. And that never changes. Okay, every now and then you see an anomaly like a Nathan Ricks, okay, that has more than that. Okay, but he's paid a huge price. Don't think it just happened. The price Nathan has paid has been massive. Okay, time away from his family, nose to the grindstone, and he's wired that way. I mean, seriously, if you could just say, Nathan, what would you rather do? I want to work until I'm dead. Okay, then go. You don't want to be that guy, but you want to sponsor that guy. See, there's the way to do this, right? Would you rather be the organ grinder or the monkey? Okay, well, I'd rather be the organ grinder. Let the monkey do its thing. All right? I don't have to be the highest paid guy on the planet. I just want to go out there and, do what I need to do to lead others, and the rest will come. Okay? But Nathan is a great inspiration. The great thing is about Nathan, I've never been able to take my foot off the pedal. Because if I do, I know, dang it, Nathan's foot's on the pedal. Crap. I have to keep my foot on the pedal. So, build an oak tree. So, the root system is built of those leaders. That's where you spend your time. Because as you look at the tree, the branches might represent weak executives. The leaves represent the end user, like the guys that are just buying product just to use the product. They're not emotionally attached. Leaves come and go with seasons. You guys know this. But the root system and trunk needs to remain intact. So if you say, how do I make big money at this? It's about consumption. My family consumes over $1,000 a month of new skin product every single month. I have never had a customer, ever, in 28 plus years, that has ever bought $1,000 of product consistently as a customer. Have you? It'll never happen. This is not about, one person selling a lot. It's about a lot of people selling a little. Okay, and consuming. Does that make sense? If we all had 5 to 10 customers and we were consuming product at the level I just described to you, and you replicated that through your team, you would have so much volume and so much activity, you wouldn't even know how to cash the check. Because it would be huge, right? Replication, build an oak tree. Now, I just talked to you earlier, this is not about product, it's not about anything, this is about your life and how you're going to live it. What that means is you are the architect of that. You will determine what that means to you. I can't tell you what it is for you. All I can tell you is what I've experienced and what I've seen. One thing I can tell you is anyone can do it. Because I've seen people climb to the top of this marketing plan and used to run companies the size of $350 million. In other words, that's what they were responsible for when they ran their traditional company. And they've become team elites. And I've seen people that used to clean toilets for a living as maids that have climbed to the top of the marketing plan. Absolutely nothing in common, except one thing. Their heart and what's inside and what they're willing to do to get there. Okay? You've got to have a why. I want to show you a video and then we're going to talk about a few things. Lee, if we could roll this, just a little bit about the why. Throughout my involvement in this company, I've had the experience of having some success that really I have freedom to do anything I want to
You know, throughout my involvement in this company, I've had the experience of having some success that really I have freedom to do anything I want to do whenever I want to do it. And I've got 4 sons, and I love them with equal intensity, and I've spent moments, great moments with all of them. But one in particular happened this last summer that I'd consider a champion moment. I've got a 10-year-old son named Eric, and he was playing Little League Baseball, and his team was picked to finish last at the start of the season. And the coach asked me, would you mind helping coach the pitchers? And so I decided I'd help, and so I decided to come on board. And lo and behold, last week of the season, this team finds itself in contention for first place. Okay, their record's good. They're battling out for the championship, and we're playing a team that has a lesser record than us. And my son's pitching, and he doesn't have a very good day going on, and his control's bad, and he walks one guy, walks the other guy, hits a third guy, and loads the bases. Another guy comes up, and he makes a mistake and gets the ball up to this batter, who promptly hits a home run out of the park. And as the grand slam goes over the fence, I realized I got to go out there and calm him down. I walked out, and as I walked up to him, he looks up at me with tears in his eyes, and he says, "Dad, you're going to have to take me out of the game." And I said, "Eric, you're going to have to get over this right now. Can you get these guys out?" And he told me he could, and so I left him in and walked out. He got the guys out, and we didn't win that game. But the whole next day, he was still freaked out about the home run. He kept talking about how, "I can't believe this guy hit a home run off me." And so the ensuing day, I talked to him about, hey, things happen. And as they happen, you know, we've got to overcome them and pump up, and you'll get other opportunities. Well, the next day, he got the opportunity. We were playing again in bottom of the inning, last inning of the game. We're down by 6 runs with the team with an equal record. And our team scratches and claws back, and they get within 2 runs of the game. So they've come back 4 runs, they're down by 2, bases are loaded, and my son Eric steps up to the plate. And as he's digging in, he looks over at me. And I looked in his eyes, and I could tell some uncertainty, as if to say, "Dad, what do you think?" And I yelled out, "Eric, you can do this." And he nodded, and he dug in, and he bore down, and the pitch came, and he lined his shot into right field, a triple to hit the fence, rounded the bags. The game was a game-winning triple. But more than that, it put him in the championship game, which he later on pitched, and we won 2-1 to win the league championship. But in that moment, as he rounded third base, and the place erupted in excitement, and his team just mobbed him at third base, I looked at his eyes again, and we met our eyes, and I saw a look of certainty. I saw the look of a champion. And it was that moment that I'll never forget, and more importantly, he'll never forget. And my question, I guess, is this: life is full of champion moments. Are you participating in those moments, or are you just hearing about it? It's up to you.
Okay. Some of you that have seen that before and know the punchline. Those of you who haven't, this is not about baseball necessarily. Baseball is just the medium you're talking about here, and everyone pretty much has children, so you can understand what I'm talking about. Your why, and the important thing here is I was there to see it, right? Too often I see where parents or grandparents hear about it from a third party. And it's not about them really seeing it themselves, it's about being there. Because who knows what happens if I'm not there, and he's uncertain about his belief in himself and what he can achieve. If I'm not there and he fails, and I'm not there, because I believe your failures are probably more important than your victories, because more can be learned from them, and that's where you grow. And if I'm not there in either case, win or lose, something's lost. And who knows the trajectory of where life goes after that. There are people that need you. They need your heart, they need your soul. They need you. No one else will satisfy. Does that make sense? And if you're too busy in your cubicle for 40 years earning a pittance as you trade your life away, you've missed what life is all about. Because it's not even about making $1 zillion here. What it's about is making enough money to live life on your terms. And then you can do what you want with it. You can impact who you choose to, whether it's a person, okay, or whether it's a cause, or whatever it is. You can do that, and that's what this is. I think we owe something back to the business, though. You're going to see me here for a long time. I don't care about the money anymore. What I care about is lifting others, because I know at the end of the day, if that's my goal and everyone else adopts that, we will absolutely dominate the world with this. And it's not just about the money flowing in. It's the goodness that will prevail because it will grow back. Now,